Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you how to make this split front double flip card. Looks like a regular card. You'd think it would be a regular card, but it's got an extra little flip on the front, so it just gives you two ways of getting in to the inside. It's basically pretty much a standard card, just with a little extra twist. So without further ado, let me get started and I'll show you how we make it. These are the ingredients. It is a piece of boho blue and it's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, so no surprises there. Fits nicely inside a standard envelope. But what we're going to do is we are going to bring in the paper trimmer and we are going to cut from the score line up to the edge at the 1 1/4 inch mark. And the good thing about the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer is it's got up to 1.5 inches on the right hand side. So I'll line it up with 1 1/4. We'll pop, I'm actually going to stand up so I'll be a little bit closer to my camera, so pardon me if it sounds like I'm shouting. Push the cutting blade in and go up to the top, and likewise with the other side we'll put it in at 1 1/4 and then we'll come down to the score mark and we'll cut down, because of course you want both the cuts to be on the same side of the card. So set myself back down and then we will fold this like a regular card. Fold all 3 pieces over. And it was funny because I thought, well, why would you not just fold it first? But it can make a little bit of a difference with the score line and where the cut lands. So we'll fold them all evenly and score them into place. So that's quite easy. These are the front pieces. So we'll just hang on to those for a quick second. I'm going to pop the inside in, which is the usual 5 1/4 by 4. Where is my adhesive? The nice thing about this is I've been doing so much with this designer series paper, the Flight and Airy, which is currently a free celebration set. I'm actually using up all of my little scraps to make this. It's great because I cut them into different shapes to make different cards and had all these little pieces, and I've actually managed to mingle them together to get the best. So one of the little pieces is just a little 1/4 inch strip. So I cut it to be 5 1/4 and I'm just going to pop it on the inside so it continues that designer series theme onto the inside. So now let's get assembling the outside. So these panels are 1 1/4 and I cut some basic white, which is 1 by 4. So there's 2 of those, 1 for each side of course. And then I cut 2 pieces of the designer series paper and they are 7/8 by 1 3/8. I know they're kind of, Alyson, 8s, but it was the best way that I could make it fit without it being too scrimped, because if it had gone down to 3/4 it would have just looked skinny. So we'll pop those onto their white pieces and then pop those onto their panels. Okay, so there we have it. The middle, the basic white, is 4 by 2 3/4, which, sorry, when we've reduced it down, it's 3 7/8 by 2 5/8. But I think it just helps to have the little bit of basic white behind. Just gives it a little bit of extra support. It brightens it up a little, so I'm sure you'll forgive me all of the 8s. So pop that on the front. So that's the pieces built really, and the only thing we have to worry about is getting these loose pieces corralled together. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a piece of boho blue, which is 3/4 of an inch, and a piece of basic white, which is 1/2 an inch, and they're both the full 5.5 inches across. Then what I did was I cut out a bird from a little scrap using the circle dies, the lovely deckled circles, and I cut the neck size up using Flirty Flamingo, which picks up one of the colours in the cardstock. So I'm actually going to use Flirty Flamingo ink, and I'm going to use the Happy Birthday, which came out of Artistically Inked. And I have to remember the card I made for the sample, the little bird is looking that way, so of course the Happy Birthday is on the right. This little guy is looking to the left, so I need to remember to stamp the greeting on the left hand side. It's just they were the two little birds that I had that were big enough left that I could get a whole bird from. So we will just stamp the greeting on there with the Flirty Flamingo. Quick and easy, and then I'll attach that to a little bit of boho blue with just a little edge around it, and then we will pop the bird onto his circle. And then what we need to do is remember we're only attaching this panel across here. So we'll use the ZZ fold technique, and we will flip it over so we can see where we can put the adhesive up to. Made myself all sticky there, fell off. Actually, I'll just turn it over quickly because it's always easy to run off than on. So close the whole thing and attach it into place. Oh, sorry, little bird, I've hidden your eyes, but never mind. And then what we'll do is we'll take a couple of dimensionals, and in this instance it's easier to put the dimensionals on the base than it is to put them on the circle and hope you've got them in the right place. If you put them onto the piece it's being attached to, you know they're not gonna stick out. So let's pop that little bird on there, and there you have it. Split front double flap card. Two the same but slightly different, but of course I don't imagine you would send 2 cards to one person, so whoever gets each card will just think that it's an original. So if you like what you've seen, please consider subscribing, give me a thumbs up, I always appreciate that. If you've got a question or you'd like to pass a comment, please pop those in the box below. I'll always try to answer questions or respond to comments. I'll put the dimensions and any information as usual, of course, in the description box below. I'm doing Zoom get-togethers now, and if you go to my website and look at the calendar, you'll be able to see when they are. They're usually the last or the second to last Wednesday of the month with a 2-week RSVP, so I can make sure I've got enough supplies for everyone. I'd absolutely love to have you join me. If you've got any questions about that, you can always email me and I will just get back with you. And last but not least, thanks so much for watching.